This isn't fantasy football, it's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter, $100,000 in total prizes, $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly, no carryover. 20 weeks, $100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, and let's see if you've got the guts to survive.
And Richmond always come first. If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now,
Knockdowns to South Beach.
live from the capital of the Commonwealth, it's The Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Good Thursday, August 28th morning. Welcome in. Appreciate you clocking in for Fitz the Bill right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, live from the Bull Rush Studios here in the capital of the Commonwealth. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Alan alongside on this Thursday morning, and I had this realization yesterday. One of my biggest pet peeves is, and bear with me here, when you're driving and someone breaks the rules of the road to do you a favor. Like you're sitting at a stop sign or a stoplight, or you're looking to take a right and you have to wait for oncoming traffic, and that oncoming driver, they have the right of way, and just instead of going, they stop and they let you go through. They're thinking that they're being nice, but I was fully prepared to wait for them to go through, and then I would go after them. It just throws it all off, right? Like, it's a nice gesture, but it's unneeded, and it kind of annoys me. It's a pet peeve of mine, but that's not really the point here. The point is, I get perturbed when someone disrupts the natural order of driving. Yet, I have figured out, and I have learned as I went through the picks to win the divisions this upcoming NFL season, that I love when football teams do that. I mean, I was on the Raiders bandwagon. I'm back off of it. Our Raiders caller told me I'm not allowed to get back in, but they kind of disrupted the natural order of things as well, and that's why I was liking them, hiring the old man Pete Carroll, bringing in this new culture. But I'm not allowed to get back on the Raiders bandwagon. I understand. I will watch from afar, and I will cheer them on as they have success, but I'm not allowed back on. But I love when football teams disrupt the natural order of things. Looking at my picks to win the division this upcoming NFL season, NFC North, I've got the Packers. In the West, it's the 49ers. East, it's the Commanders. South, it's the Bucks. And in the AFC, the North, I like the Ravens. The South, I like the Jaguars. The West, I like the Chargers. East, I like the Bills. The North and East, they're a little chalky. But a few of those teams this last season and over the last couple of years have kind of disrupted the natural order of the football world. And now I like them to win the division. The Packers, they disrupted the natural order of things. You draft a young quarterback in the first round while you have he's about to be a two-time reigning MVP right there as your QB1, but you saw the future. You knew you had to get ahead of it. They now see success. I have them winning the division. Take the Jaguars, for example. They've disrupted the natural order of football. They've done the weird stuff. They traded up to get the number 2 overall pick this draft to get Travis Hunter. That is a wildly confident trade for a player we have never seen before. He wants to play both wide receiver and defensive back. And the Jaguars, they took a big swing to go and get him. The Jaguars ownership hired a coach after firing the general manager, which was necessary, but they fired the GM because the new coach gave them that ultimatum. It's either me or Trent Baalke, the general manager. And the ownership group, they said, all right, we want you, Liam Cohen. And then we all know what happened next. Duval. But, I mean, to go along with this offensive, trendy, hire coach with Liam Cohen, they hired a young, new general manager. He's never been a general manager before. He looks like he's 18 years old. He's actually 35. But the Jaguars have bucked traditional wisdom, and they've done things their own way. I hate the driver in my analogy, right? The driver who tried to do you a favor by disrupting the rules of the road. That's annoying. But in football, I love it. I respect it. I think they're going to win the division. And looking over who's going to win the divisions, it's kind of how I see if there's going to be maybe an unexpected team to take over the division champ role. Like the Chargers, they do things a little differently with Harbaugh bringing him in back from the college football ranks. And then, bringing Greg Roman in, but that's a whole other story. But it's just interesting. I had that realization yesterday, mostly the pet peeve of mine realization, where I was waiting at a stop sign. Someone tried to do me a favor and I got more annoyed than I should have with them being nice to me. But then I realized I like it in football. Don't like it on the road. That's the way it goes. All right, let's update you with what you may have missed in the wide world of sports overnight.
This is your Fitz the Bill morning update, getting you caught up on some of the biggest stories in sports.
A big story overnight was Dawn Staley. She told Aaliyah Boston on Aaliyah Boston's podcast that she co-hosts with Candace Parker called Post Moves. Dawn Staley would have taken the Knicks job if offered. She had a formal interview with the team. She said, quote, "I would have had to do it, not just for me, for women, to break that door open." She would go on to say, "I would have had to. It's the New York Knicks. I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks." In NFL news, Rashee Rice, the Chiefs wide receiver, accepts his suspension. They do it before going to arbitration. He will sit out the first 6 weeks of this upcoming NFL season. The New England Patriots, they claim Tommy DeVito. He's back, the quarterback, off of waivers. To do so, they did cut wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. Najee Harris, the Chargers running back, he's wearing pads for the first time at Chargers practice since the 4th of July eye injury that's kept him sidelined for quite some time. He is notably not on the NFI list, the non-football related injury list, heading into the season, which means he is eligible to play week 1. Yesterday, right when we wrapped up the show, Adam Thielen got traded. The Panthers sent him back home to Minnesota, where he got his career started. That opens up the door, if you're into fantasy, for Jalen Coker. The Panthers kind of second-year slot guy opens the door for him to have an enhanced role this season down in Charlotte, North Carolina. In MLB, Shohei Ohtani took a massive step forward, got a win in a 5-inning outing last night for the Dodgers. The Texas Rangers absolutely demolished the Angels 20-3. The Yankees put a hurting on the Nationals 11-2. Max Fried picks up the win for New York, who is 13 games above 500. The Mariners get a 4-3 win over the Padres. The Braves offense comes alive, 12-1 win over the Marlins. The Red Sox get a close 3-2 win over the Baltimore Orioles. And the Mets blank the Phillies in Queens 6-0. That's what you may have missed in the wide world of sports overnight. Some big offensive outbursts last night in the MLB. We want to let you guys know, if you want a shot at $50,000 in cold, hard cash, well, Bull Rush just dropped a brand new sports comp, the NFL Survivor, with a $100,000 total prize pool. First place gets $50,000 straight up. Think you've got the picks to survive 20 weeks? Well, prove it. Join now at bullrush.com/ESPN. Coming up on today's show, we've got Jason Harrell, the head coach at Manchester, coming off of an 8-4 season where they lost to Oscar Smith in the Region 6A semifinal, but they bring back a large portion of that team, 15 starters returning in head coach's Jason Harrell's second season at Manchester. He'll be joining at just about 8:30, and in hour 2, Fitz the Bill goes pseudo on the road as we head on, quote unquote, over to Blacksburg. David Cunningham from Tech Sideline, he'll be calling in and joining us right at the top of hour number 2 to talk all things Virginia Tech. And we'll give a broad overview on the Hokies as they get set for a very, very important 2025 season. You do not want to miss it. David always has fantastic insights. We'll get the latest on Caleb Woodson's arrest as well. So much coming up. Appreciate you starting the day with us right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. You can also watch the stream, ESPN Richmond. Just type that in, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. We'll pop right on up and you can watch the stream live, and you can be part of the show that way as well by liking, rating, and subscribing on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all of that fun stuff. We greatly appreciate it if you do. And as always, you can call, you can text in 804-327-0888. Let's get a break in here. We'll step aside, be back with a little news or snooze action here, a little earlier than normal, but we still got to get to it. That's coming up right here, 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Linux dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1783. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1783. That's 800-575-1783. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. Then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This Labor Day, the Home Depot is here to help you prep for the season. So no matter what you're working on, you can get your backyard ready for all the fall festivities. Refresh your garden with savings on a wide selection of colorful mums. Liven up your outdoor space with vibrant string lights. And find the perfect grill for your backyard barbecues this season from our wide selection of grills under $300. Get your fall project started this Labor Day at the Home Depot.
If your end of summer plans don't include a trip to Macy's, then you're missing out because our Labor Day sale has huge savings to wrap up the season in style, like dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and INC, 100 and under. Plus, just what you need for fall, like Levi's for your whole crew, 30 to 40% off. It's also the best time to update your home with our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more. Hurry in. Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Every Tuesday, go inside Commander's Country with Insider Lake Lewis on Fitz the Bill. Injury updates, depth chart, drama, practice buzz straight from Ashburn. It's the Raising Hell Insider every Tuesday, airing on 106.1 ESPN Richmond and streaming live on X and YouTube. Powered by 106.1 ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports.
106.1 ESPN traffic.
Expect slow-moving traffic heading west on Cary Street Road between Hillcrest Avenue and Three Chops. We're seeing some merging delays heading north on 195 between Broad Street and Bryant Park Interchange. Bumper-to-bumper traffic heading north on 295 between Knuckles Road and 64 West End. And beware of some congestion heading north on 95 between Hermitage Road and Downtown Expressway.
Looking to grow your local business? Let's team up. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, host of Fitz the Bill on ESPN Richmond. Together, we can craft on-air campaigns that drive customers right through your doors. Ready to collaborate? Email me, jack.fitzpatrick@summitmediacorp.com.
News or snooze?
Good morning, Jack. It's time for news or snooze. But before we start news or snooze,
yeah, hit me.
I gotta do a call back. All right,
please.
You're way too nice about the traffic analogies this morning in your morning monologue. That doesn't sound like a Richmond driver at all. Actually,
I'm not a Richmond driver. I'm a Fred. I learned. I cut my teeth in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, clearly,
which isn't much better
because the majority of those teams that you mentioned we're not letting them go by and being like, oh, shaking my fist. We're laying on the horn and telling the Jaguars, you are ridiculous. Get off the road. You don't need to be driving.
See, I like it when a football team does that, though.
No.
I like it when they buck the trend. They
Stop
do things
running
a little
through
different.
the yield sign at the traffic circle. You're literally supposed to yield.
I also will say in my adult life, I've lived in New York City and Charlotte, North Carolina, two places known for crazy drivers. So Richmond drivers are nothing.
Dude, like seriously, listen to this.
Duval. And that guy right there, he's bucking the trend.
Lay on the horn.
He's bucking the trend, and the Jaguars. I talked about it yesterday. I'm absurdly high on the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's because I haven't sold my Trevor Lawrence stock yet, and I'm a massive investor in money sign T-Law, the stock T-Law, but so I don't want to sell it too much.
The stocks T-Law?
Yeah, the stock T-Law.
It's a
Trevor
meme
Lawrence.
stock. It's a meme stock.
No, it's not, man.
It's not something that you take seriously as an investment.
It's Cracker Barrel after they changed their logo.
Man,
They're about to change it back.
It's
now.
It's the Cracker Barrel. Yeah, you're right. The one that dropped like 70%. That's what you're getting.
I bought it at its height. I bought it when he was drafted, when he was a generational talent. We've now gone through where it's dropped 70%, and I can't sell it.
I love Trevor Lawrence, aka Sunshine. I probably have shown you this, but I have a screenshot of me talking about this guy when he was in 7th freaking grade. So trust me. He was good. He was that good in 7th grade. He went to some camps and stuff.
Yeah, we all watched him on Remember the Titans. He was great.
Anyway, he's been on the radar for being like really good for a long time. It's not adding up, man. And there's only so many coaching changes, so many different ways I can blame the Jags. You got to perform.
You can blame the Jags in a lot of ways. You gave him Urban Meyer, then you gave him Doug Peterson, who Philly fans,
and he still holds on to the ball too long.
Philly fans, plug your ears. Doug Peterson is a bad football coach.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Outside of his magical Super Bowl run where he had an MVP Carson Wentz, and then Nick Foles decided to put two things down on the table that were bigger than anything else on the table. He is a sub 500 coach.
Oh, that was well done. All right, we're just gonna go to the headlines. All right, up first, Keegan Bradley announces 6 captains picks to complete the 2025 United States Riders Cup team.
All right, so the captains picks are Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay, Ben Griffin, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Cam Young. And then a couple other guys who got in on points. I need to pull those up, but it is newsworthy. That's all. Can I get something off my chest here?
If you're gonna downplay the Riders Cup, we might as well go to commercial right now. It's one of my favorite international competitions.
Okay, then you tell me, why is it such a fun international competition?
Why do you not want to beat Europe in anything? We just want to win. We're freaking Americans. That's what matters. Who cares about what sport you're playing in an international competition? And I'm not faking me being fired up. We are Americans. We want to win. We want to win because we are winners. Who cares what we're doing? It could be rock, paper, scissors. And if we're going against Team Europe or Team Canada or Team Mexico, I want Team USA to win.
Okay, that's right. I will get into it. I'm going to go all in on the Ryder Cup this year, and I will.
Don't you do this morning, man?
I'll try to ride with it. I've never gotten into it, but now that I have a reason to get into it, I'll get into it.
Get into it because we want to be winners. I don't have the Singletary button, but we want winners. Also, and I know we have a couple avid golfers and guys who are into the sport. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. Why is Justin Thomas on this team, man? When are we going to let that go? He hasn't played good golf in a long time. There's no way he should be on the Ryder Cup team. Just no way. I don't care about past Ryder Cup success and any of that, if that even factored into it. He's not playing good golf right now.
No, but a lot of them I feel like are just name brands.
No, it's the same old, like, it's the Tiger crew, basically. You're going to get Justin Thomas on there some kind of way. If it wasn't him, it'd probably be Jordan Spieth some kind of way, or God forbid, Ricky Fowler. We need to let these guys go, man. If
we want to compete, if we want to win, we can't have Justin Thomas.
Compete and win. You're right. If we want to do those two things, I'm serious.
I'm buying in already.
We shouldn't have him on the team, but it's whatever. Obviously, I'm still going to cheer for Team USA. I will not let the last Ryder Cup go. I hated every single pick of that team some kind of way. But
okay, so it's just newsworthy.
Yes, newsworthy. All right, next. This ought to be newsworthy.
I'm ready.
Micah Parsons has a pending grievance over his 5th-year option salary.
Newsworthy. So the Cowboys. This happened a little bit ago, and it just is now coming out where he is filing a grievance. The 5th-year option salary has him as a defensive end because that's what the Cowboys have listed him as. The 5th-year option for a defensive end is around $21 million. If he was listed as a linebacker, he gets $24 million. But this is newsworthy mainly for the fact that there is a looming franchise tag and a looming second franchise tag when it comes to Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons won the 2021 Defensive Rookie of the Year. Guess what position he was listed as for that? Linebacker.
Yeah,
He made the Pro Bowl in 22, 23, and 24 as a linebacker. He is listed as a linebacker in everything. Micah says he's a linebacker, except by the Cowboys, who have him listed as a defensive end. And this is going to loom large over Micah when it comes to the franchise tag, because a linebacker is technically an edge rusher. And so all of these massive salaries, these massive deals we've been seeing with Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby, those are all edge rushers / linebackers, not defensive ends. That's how they quantify edge rushers. And so when he gets this franchise tag, he won't be lumped in with those average salaries, which means he will get a lot less money because they listed him as a defensive end.
Yeah, you know, I thought TJ Watt was I thought it was like a 3-4 line. I gotta look at how they put it down. But yeah, I'm only against this because I feel like he should have raised this concern
He did
2 years ago when they did it.
He raised it at the start of last season.
I feel like he's a little late on it, but good luck with your grievance, man. You don't have any representation. If it goes to arbitration, when's the last time the NFL lost arbitration with anything?
Yeah, especially with the NFLPA having no teeth.
Yeah, literally.
Man, it is sad. All right, what's the third one?
All right, the third one. Caleb Woodson's status is still up in the air after the Virginia Tech linebacker was arrested over the weekend for DWI.
Yeah, so this is what Brent Price said at a press conference yesterday on the status of Caleb Woodson.
A lot of discussions over the last few days regarding this matter, very serious matter. And there's certainly internal program consequences at play, measures at play. And then the university's policy, the athletic department policies, we're committed to seeing that out. And as far as his play this weekend, that's yet to be determined. Yeah, we removed his captain status with the opportunity to earn it back.
So Caleb Woodson was named team captain prior to this arrest. He has it stripped away. This is newsworthy, though. 2024 second leading tackler on the team, had about 75 tackles in 2024, was expected to be still will be a big piece in the linebacker room this year for Virginia Tech, but pretty newsworthy. He gets arrested over the weekend, and now his status for the opening game against South Carolina down in Atlanta on Sunday is up in the air. He has a court date on September 9th about this arrest. So very, very interesting stuff happening in Blacksburg. Fun to monitor.
I got to turn my mic on. Second offense.
Is that what he said? I didn't even catch
this. I'm looking in July 30th. He was given a reckless going 96 into 70. And then we've got a misdemeanor DWI. Go sit your down. Like, what are we talking about? Brent Price, that's I have to say that's lame to me. Like, it's clearly obvious that this young man has 2 offenses in less than a month. We get away from football. We talk about for his own safety to learn a lesson, right? Like, you need to teach a lesson.
You don't want a Henry Ruggs.
I know you want to win the football game, and I know he's an important piece. But again, I think sometimes in these situations, and this goes down to Georgia too, because they have a lot of driving offenses down there.
Yeah, they do.
We're still dealing with young men and young women when we're talking about collegiate athletes. Don't care how much money they make, they still need some form of guidance and direction. The NFL would punish in this situation. College should punish. Virginia Tech should punish. I don't want to hear we took away his captain status. Oh yeah, that's great.
With an opportunity to earn it back too.
That's great.
What can he do to earn it back?
Bench him, man.
He's already burned the Brit. Like in my mind, I didn't even know he had a second offense. with having 2 offenses, like, all right, man, I think he's a rising junior, so he's playing his junior season. Maybe you can earn it back as a senior, but you have no option to earn it back this year, man. Like, you're missing at least a game, at least a half, at least a game.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he's got to be benched, and it is what it is. I would rather teach that lesson now than to have a different situation if he has a third offense
or
who knows.
Like,
and
if he's also gotten caught twice, not to bring this card up, but how many times has he done it and not gotten caught?
And sometimes, if parents or guardians or people in charge take necessary steps to discipline, then the courts are more lenient. Just depends, even at that age.
Yeah.
So he's a young man. He's a student athlete. We all know we make mistakes when we're young, but like that sounds really lame to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's a hard decision to make. You got 2 offenses.
It's insane. We'll get the latest on it from David Cunningham when he joins us at around 9 a.m. from Tech Sideline. He's been following the situation, so we'll get the latest news and notes from David coming up at around 9:05 a.m. when he joins the program to talk a little bit about the latest there. We got a couple of texts in.
Yay.
This one says, the Chargers are not winning the AFC West, not with their left guard, Rashawn Slater. Rashawn Slater.
Left tackle, lady.
Out for the season. LOL, bad pick, Fitz. It is the left tackle, but I get what you're saying. They did lose Rashawn Slater to a season-ending injury, which is hugely detrimental to this team. So they moved their right tackle, Joe Alt, who was their first-round draft pick last season. He moves to left tackle. Mekhi Becton slots in at right guard. Trey Pipkins, the third, is right tackle. Zion Johnson is left guard. And Bradley Bozeman, who spent the start of his career with the Carolina Panthers, he's the center. So, yeah, that is a pretty big blow. But also, it happened at the right time. Like, if you're going to lose a guy to a season-ending injury, you'd rather it happen day 1 of training camp rather than day 25 of training camp.
You'd rather have a Joe Alt to replace a
and
Slater,
you got a Joe Alt. Now, but it does shake things up, but they've had all training camp to figure it out. It tests their offensive line depth, but I really like Justin Herbert. I'm part of the Justin Herbert hive. And Omarion Hampton from UNC is a dog of a running back.
He's my favorite.
He's so good. I love this offense. Not to mention the defense took amazing steps forward last season under their new defensive coordinator, who they brought up, I believe, from Michigan, right? And they took huge steps forward.
They got Keenan Allen back.
back.
Man.
And if you look at John Harbaugh's career, Jim Harbaugh, I don't know why. I'm a talk radio.
Don't ever make that mistake.
I mix their names up way too. Their parents. Why'd we give him 2 J names? Why? All right. So Jim Harbaugh, if you look at his career, his second year bump is massive everywhere he goes.
Great, man. And all those things,
I'm all in.
All those things that you said are awesome. I love everything about the Chargers.
You hate
except
Justin Herbert,
for
though.
Justin Herbert. But dude, you're tripping. Come on, man. Patrick Mahomes is still there. As long as Patrick Mahomes breathes, we need to start putting him in the Brady category.
I agree.
We never picked against the Patriots when Brady started to ascend. When he was in the AFC East, it was Patriots and everybody else. It's the Chiefs and everybody else.
Yeah,
man.
I get that, but there's one, the Patriots never had a Chargers type of team behind them. Heck, the Broncos are also good. The Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs, maybe the Raiders will be a little frisky as well, but can beat up on one another.
You've never experienced the Patrick Mahomes experience.
Yeah, not like you.
Side. Yeah,
not like you. I
have
get
PTSD, man.
But like you look at the wide receiver room for the Chiefs now with Rashee Rice missing the first 6 games. And I'm sorry, Xavier Worthy doesn't know the length of a football field yet. He had so many catches with 2 feet out of bounds last season. And then, oh, by the way, we're also trotting out Juju Smith-Schuster again in the year 2025. Like, their wide receiver room leaves a little bit to be desired. I'm not saying they're not making the playoffs. They probably also will be in contention for the AFC West up until the end of the season. But I like the Chargers. I think this is the year that they're going to be a little bit of a shakeup at the top of the AFC West. Can you do a poll? This is another text we got. Can you do a poll on what % of people pronounce the word Jaguar? A, Jaguar versus Fitz's pronunciation Jaguar. I'm guessing it's 75. How do you pronounce Jaguar?
Bro, you know I can't talk to save my life. Jaguar.
So Jaguar? I've never heard someone say.
That's how I say it. I mean, and look, I can't talk, so you're gonna have to take it. You know what I'm talking about.
Am I mispronouncing Jaguar incorrectly? Have I been saying?
I've never heard anybody say Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Usually it's Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yes.
Jaguar. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a mind-blowing
That's you right now.
This is a
That's you right now, bro.
experience. I've been wrong this whole time. My entire life. No one's corrected me. That's insane. That is it. No one has corrected me on the pronunciation of Jaguar. Jaguar. That's wrong. That's wrong. Who knew? But I can pronounce the Chargers correctly. I can pronounce the Chargers correctly. The Chargers are going to win the AFC West. I have high hopes for them. High hopes for the Chargers. Yeah, they did lose. They did lose their left tackle, but at the end of the day, I think they'll be able to handle that. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Chris is on line 1. Good morning, Chris. How are we doing?
Jack, how you
doing? Doing great.
Just really quick, I do agree with Alan that until the Chiefs can be beaten, that's their division. I mean, and I do think, I'm not even a Chiefs fan. I don't like the Chiefs, but I think Patrick Mahomes is starting to get slept on again, and that's going to awaken a whole new beast. And also, for the record, I do disagree. I think when you said that Brady had no AFC team in his division better than the Chargers currently, I do think the 2014 Jets were better than this Chargers team. I mean, they were 10-6 and missed the playoffs all because Jacksonville or Tennessee won their division 8-8 when that Jets team belonged in the playoffs. I mean, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall, that team was loaded.
That's a good point. That's a valid point. But I mean, if you look over the longevity, the averageness of that AFC East, there was never a lot of teams that were even trying to push the Patriots at all, and kind of has now turned into that with the Bills. You had the Dolphins there for like a year or two, but now no one's really even pushing the Bills up there. AFC East is a weird division. Chris, thank you so much for calling in. We got to keep things moving. Have a great rest of your Thursday. There goes Chris. All right, we're going to keep things rolling with our 804 high school football previews. Presented by Dave and Buster's. Heading out to the phone line, Jason Harrell, the head football coach for Manchester. They get their season started tonight against Monacan at home. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning to chat with us.
Yeah, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I wanna just start here. We were talking with LC Bird's coach yesterday. They have 3 returning starters. You guys are on the complete opposite side of the coin with 15 returning starters. What is an offseason like when you have more than half of your team, half of your starters coming back?
Well, it's definitely a different feeling because, last year when I came in, it was kind of the same, I guess, what Bird's going through. And we just kind of had to figure guys out. I mean, we had some, a lot of returners, but they were still young, too. So on that end, so it wasn't something where they were used to the experience of, trying to grind and build and, make something for themselves through for the season. But, with this group that we have now, most of these kids have been in our program for a very long time. And, they, the camaraderie is there. It's a team atmosphere that, the kids working and playing for each other. It's real easy. You don't have to preach that, right? Because, again, these kids know each other and they like each other and they want to be with each other. So it makes it real easy to go in and put in work because everybody's pushing each other to be better.
Coach, with 15 returning starters, do you think there are higher expectations for you guys going into 2025?
I mean, it should be, right? Because that's the expectation. Like I say, when you have a good team and then you have a good team of returners, so, it should be something that's expected that you do better than what you did last year, considering, the variables of the two. The only thing that can probably hinder anything will be just injuries. Everybody goes through the injury bugs, but with having those guys that's just been here and you don't have to reteach too many things, it makes it a lot easier to kind of get the ball rolling.
Jason Harrell, head football coach for the Manchester Lancers, joining us on this Thursday morning. Coach, your quarterback, Landon Abernathy, 4-year starter. How important is he to the team, having your signal caller be a guy who's been around the block not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times now?
It's definitely a blessing because what a lot of people don't know about Landon is how in tune he is with football. Like, he is immersed into the game of football, and he likes to learn, and he just sees things that other kids at his age don't see, especially at the quarterback level. He's very intelligent in what he sees and can actually relay the information to you to actually get you to call the right plays in the right situation and things of that nature. So it's, outside of having, huddle sideline, you got a guy on the field that actually can come back and tell you useful information as well.
Looking back now at your first year, what'd you learn from that experience that you're putting towards this season as you get set for tonight's game against Monacan?
Honestly, it's just kind of this, you keep putting foot forward each time. Like, there's things that's going to happen, there's things you're not going to like, but, if you dwell on those things and you sit on them, there's no room for progress. So, you just got to keep moving forward each step. There's a lot of things that happened last year that, we wasn't proud of. And, things happened that, kind of set us back, but it wasn't a point to set to where the kids weren't able to rebound. So I know we got it to the point to where these kids know what they're capable of, and, we just got to keep doing what we got to do. As long as we do what we're doing, we can control those things. Like, so again, each kid knows they're responsible for themselves, throughout the game, throughout the season, of doing things that are right for the team.
Jason Harrell, head football coach for the Manchester Lancers, joining us on this Thursday morning. Coach, your team had a lot of 7-on-7 success this offseason. How important is it to kind of get your guys out there at these events, at these 7-on-7 types of things, and have the type of success that you guys had?
Well, it's kind of funny because, again, like I said, being from the Virginia Beach area in 757, that was kind of a thing that we did every year anyway, even that, in years past, like, early 2000s and, in 1990s, you know what I mean? Like, I did it when I was a kid. And then when I came up here, it was kind of one of those things that only like some teams did. It wasn't as big as it was, at that moment. But then, over the years, it's kind of progressed. 804's caught up with, doing the extra things outside of the season. And I think for us, especially being at Manchester under Coach Hall, he wasn't a big 707 fan either. Because again, he's like, oh, that doesn't win championships. It's just, it is what it is because it's 707. You don't have the important piece of the team, which is the line. So things can change when that happens. But for us, again, we didn't have any expectations when we went into the summer. It was just getting better and competing. And, all I wanted to see is the kids compete. And, I think that was our greatest outcome of those things, seeing that we can compete with, the teams that were, very good and ranked in previous years, that also did well. So, having those kids come out there and just getting the confidence to be able to play and make plays and, not kind of shy away from, the guys and the big names that they play against, made it probably much better for us in terms of making our team, have a better mental as we go into the season.
Coach, I want to turn the attention now to tonight's game against Monacan. What are you guys doing to prep? What are you guys doing to try and set yourself up for a game winning or a season opening win?
Well, that's what we need because we haven't had one of those in a long time. So, I think we probably over 7 so far will open the season and win. So that's the first thing is just getting that opening win. I think the guys have been kind of prepped for this game for a long time because, again, it's not necessarily something that we thought about before, but then, our previous coach, Justin Akers, he was the ROC here last year. So now he's the head coach. So, kind of one of those little rivalry things now. We have a couple of guys that everybody knows, coaching staff over there as well. So, it's almost like, big brother, little brother, or, just family type of atmosphere where, you compete, either you're going outside the backyard playing or you're sitting there playing Madden against each other. You're going to try to beat that guy because you know him. It's just bragging rights at this point.
Has there been any little trash talk between you two going into this game?
No, honestly, not really. Again, we're still friends or whatever. Again, I do trash talk, but I'm not usually one that trash talk before the game anyway. And then he's usually not a trash talker himself either. So I would say it's kind of like it's been peaceful, just kind of talking and just talking about each other's season and the off season and how things are going with each other.
Jason Harrell, head football coach for the Manchester Lancers. They get their season going tonight against Monacan at home. Coach, what do you want to see out of your team tonight in game 1 of the season? A lot of coaches always talk about the most improvement you see is from game 1 to game 2. So what do you want to see from your team in game 1 where you feel like you guys will be set to reach your ultimate goal?
The main thing is make sure that we're just locked into the game, because, again, a lot of teams at game 1, you can watch it, I mean, you can go to any Friday night game, and you're going to see like players not being on the field at the right time. You know, a lot of penalties, just simple mental mistakes. So I'm hoping that our kids just stay locked in the game to where we don't make those mental mistakes to kind of, put us in a situation to where, we're struggling or not having the success that we need to have. Because, those are the opportunities then, like I said, teams that are, are able to kind of like on level playing fields, because each team, is starting from the bottom. So if you're making mistakes to beat yourself, it makes it real easy for a team, that's able to have some pieces that can actually, kind of have like an upset or anything like that. So I just want kids to be focused and, kind of block out all the extra things that's going on with them for the game, and just put on a show outside of, doing the extracurriculars and things of that nature. Just go ahead and do what you're expected to do and make the plays, and just make sure you keep the refs flags in the pocket.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight against Monacan, and good luck in the 2025 season.
All right, thank you, sir.
There goes head coach Jason Harrell of Manchester. They get their season going tonight against Monacan, a team that returns 15 starters, and Coach Harrell's second season at the helm for Manchester. They fell last season to Oscar Smith in the Region 6A semifinal, looking to put together another successful season here with, 15 starters is a lot in high school. He was talking about trying to take out the mental mistakes, trying to avoid the mental penalties that a lot of teams get in week one of a high school football season. With 15 returning starters, you really don't want to see that at all. According to Max Preps, kind of one of the top places to go for high school football information, they are the 21st ranked team in the state of Virginia heading into the 2025 season. Manchester looking to build off of an 8-4 2024 year. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll step aside, be back with more right here on 106.1 ESPN.
Weather reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
Looking for a top-tier university that is affordable? Coastal Carolina University offers more than 100 undergraduate and graduate programs designed to help you earn your degree. Visit coastal.edu and learn more about the Coastal commitment to student learning and student-led research. Coastal Carolina University is consistently ranked as a top best value university in the South. Visit coastal.edu to learn more and schedule your campus tour.
Have you thought of enrolling in a City of Richmond Promise Pay payment plan but haven't done so yet? Promise Pay is the convenient and flexible payment option for past due gas and water balances. But changes are coming soon, beginning September 1st. All new payment plans will be eligible for a 12-month repayment term versus the current 36 months. So if you're in need of a longer time to repay, you're encouraged to enroll before September 1st. Don't delay, enroll today. To learn more, visit our website at www.rva.gov/public-utilities.
Big news. Mechanicsville Kia is opening this October, and we're hiring for all positions. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, if you value honesty, accountability, and exceptional service, we want you on our team. This is your chance to grow with a dealership built on integrity, teamwork, and a commitment to putting people first. Customers, employees, and our community. Apply today at mechanicsvillekia.com. That's mechanicsvillekia.com. Mechanicsville Kia. Trust at every turn.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya guselkumab may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Live music returns to Innsbruck Pavilion next summer. Surf Pro After Hours concerts at the Innsbruck Pavilion brings you Tribute Thursdays with bands recreating the music of the most popular acts of our time. For more info, visit afterhourinnsbruck.com.
If you're a Commanders fan in Richmond, it's time to raise hell. Let's talk football. Every Thursday night from 6 to 7, 106.1 ESPN brings you Raising Hell, your weekly Commanders fix. All takes, real talk, and everything burgundy gold for the fans who live it. Don't miss a second of the action. Raising Hell, Thursdays at 6, only on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Richmond talks sports.
106.1 ESPN weather.
Taking a look at today's weather forecast, it's currently 61 degrees and cloudy with a high today of 79 and a low of 59. We're expecting the sun to start poking out around 9 a.m. with mostly clear skies in the morning, followed by a cloudy afternoon and evening. And taking a look at tomorrow, we're also seeing some sunny weather with a high of 81 and a low of 59.
Richmond football is on the way. Hey, this is Bob Black. Join former Spider players Jasmine Coleman and Chris Anderson and me Saturday, August 30th at Lehigh, a battle of defending league champs and nationally ranked teams. Airtime 11:30, kickoff at noon on the home of the Spiders, 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back in, Fitz the Bill. You heard it there. Raising Hail, it's coming back. It is back. And next Thursday at Dave & Buster's, we will be live with our countdown to kickoff ahead of the Dallas Cowboys against Philadelphia Eagles game. We will be out there, from 6 until 7, 7 until 8, 2 hours of great stuff from 6 to 7. It'll be a little Raising Hail as you guys break down what to expect this season for the Commanders. And then from 7 to 8, we'll be talking all things, or I guess 7 to 7:45.
Yeah.
All things Thursday Night Football, all things NFL season, all things Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles.
It's like the NFC East.
Man, there are too many.
show.
Wow, that is way too many.
We
The
got
Giants.
Raising Hell will be focused on the Commanders and Giants. Then you'll take us home with Eagles, Cowboys. Our broadcast airs starting at 7:45. But I'm planning to come out there with you and play some games and then watch the game.
Look, I said it when we were at Draftcade for the live show of Talking Dukes. Whoever wants to come out and challenge me in skee ball, I'm going to run the table in skee ball.
Yeah, Dave & Buster's isn't really a skee ball joint.
Look, basketball. They got the basketball
shooting.
shooting,
Yeah, they do got
right?
the basketball, yeah.
I'll beat you in the basketball shooting game.
All right.
Whatever when arms involved, I got you.
All right, they got a wing special. I'll play you for it.
They got a great wing special. They've got drink specials as well. $10 for 10 wings on Thursday night, September 4th. $5 draft beer options. They're 22-ounce domestic drafts, $5 margaritas. Really, really great stuff.
Real quick, can you go back over the drink specials for the Cowboy fans again? Because it's going to be rough for them.
All right. Man,
you'll need it. You'll need it,
especially if Micah's not playing.
Dude, if Micah doesn't play, you definitely need it.
It is insane to me that Brian Schottenheimer's like he's going to be playing. He'll need a ramp up here, but he's going to be playing. Brother, I don't think he's going to be playing.
If Micah doesn't pay, I got you on your first round. You can come see me. I'll give you some sympathy there.
The funny thing about all of this is the whole Dallas Cowboys documentary has come out. A gambler and his Cowboys, that whole thing on Netflix, which shows Emmitt Smith holds out for the first two games. The team loses both the games, and Jerry Jones succumbs to him.
Yeah, he has to.
So when the Cowboys begin this season 0-2 and have 0 sacks, you know what's going to happen? Jerry Jones is going to open up that checkbook and he's going to pay Micah.
He needs a Charles Haley, man. You need the guy in the locker room that's going to look your owner in the face and say, "Get it together," or
throw a.
I don't know what he said, but whatever he said was very motivating. I don't know if we can repeat it either.
No, I don't think we can.
But yeah, no, for real. Just come hang out with me if you're a Cowboys fan.
You hang out with him. I'll hang out with the winners. I'll hang out with the Eagles.
If there's a cure for the Super Bowl hangover, it's to play your hated rival in the first game.
True.
There's absolutely no way you come in or come out of this flat. You're not going to overlook playing the Cowboys if you're the Eagles. And if it was the other way around, if the Cowboys had won the Super Bowl and their first game was against the Eagles, you're not coming in with the hangover. All that's out the window. So
exactly. So come on out starting at 6 p.m. next Thursday. Countdown to kickoff from 6 to 7. We've got Raising Hail from 7 until our coverage begins at 7:45. We'll be breaking down all things Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dave & Buster's in Shore Pump. They've got great wing specials, great drink specials, $10 for 10 wings, $5 draft beer options. You don't want to miss it. Tons of prizes you can win. So much is happening with our countdown to kickoff show over at Dave & Buster's at Shore Pump, beginning at 6, but come hang out from 6 to 7, 7 to 7:45, 7:45 through the game. We'd love to see you.
Fans, you can leave at halftime.
Man, I did not realize you were so. You hate everything in Texas. Come talk smack to Allen. He's begging you for it.
No, please show yourself.
Or you can come in and tell me how I'm stupid about how the Chargers are going to win the AFC West, and then
we text you that. We won't.
My AFC West takes have been getting some people riled up.
Yes.
Whoa, I wouldn't say awful. I'd say riled up. All right,
you're gonna learn. Don't go away from Patty.
You're right, but until I fool me one time, shame on. Shame on me. Fool me twice. Can't get fooled again. All right, let's get a break in here. Step aside. Be back with more Fitz the Bill.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
Experience the thrill of live horse racing all summer long at Colonial Downs Racetrack starting July 9th. Catch the action Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12:30 p.m. And don't miss our Friday twilight races at 4 p.m. The biggest summer of racing, food, fun, and excitement for all ages. There's something for everyone. Get your tickets and check out all the promotions now at colonialdowns.com. That's colonialdowns.com.
At the Original Mattress Factory, you'll often hear us say we can't fit our quality in a box. Our customers feel the same way. Here's what an actual OMF customer had to say.
I recently purchased a bed-in-a-box mattress and returned it a month later. I replaced it with a bed from the Original Mattress Factory, and I am beyond thrilled. Don't bother with any of the online mattress brands. Go to OMF and you'll be in great hands. My only regret is not going there sooner.
Come see our quality firsthand at the Original Mattress Factory.
This Labor Day, the Home Depot is here to help you prep for the season. So no matter what you're working on, you can get your backyard ready for all the fall festivities. Refresh your garden with savings on a wide selection of colorful mums. Liven up your outdoor space with vibrant string lights. And find the perfect grill for your backyard barbecues this season from our wide selection of grills under $300. Get your fall project started this Labor Day at the Home Depot.
If your end of summer plans don't include a trip to Macy's, then you're missing out because our Labor Day sale has huge savings to wrap up the season in style, like dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and INC, 100 and under. Plus, just what you need for fall, like Levi's for your whole crew, 30 to 40% off. It's also the best time to update your home with our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more. Hurry in. Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Looking for a top-tier university that is affordable? Coastal Carolina University offers more than 100 undergraduate and graduate programs designed to help you earn your degree. Visit coastal.edu and learn more about the Coastal commitment to student learning and student-led research. Coastal Carolina University is consistently ranked as a top best value university in the South. Visit coastal.edu to learn more and schedule your campus tour.
Whether it's the football field, the basketball court, or the diamond, and everything in between, we'll be talking JMU Athletics on Talking Dukes Wednesdays, 6 o'clock here on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back in Fitz the Bill, live from the Bull Rush Studios here in the capital of the Commonwealth. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick alongside Alan. Alan, how much pressure do you think is on Michael Vick and Norfolk State to get this season going with the win against Towson at home? I mean, First Take is there. It's his first ever coaching job. Like, is there an extreme amount of pressure on this team?
Yeah, I think with pressure, like expectations bring pressure. And I don't think the expectations are that high. There's optimism and things like that. But I don't think anybody's expecting them to win 11 games.
Oh, yeah, but you don't even think with all of these eyeballs, there's not some added pressure. I mean, it's on ESPNU, for goodness sake. I mean, Norfolk State would not be hosting an ESPNU game if it wasn't for Michael Vick.
There's going to be some added pressure because of the presence of some folks. But as far as what you're talking about, I don't think it amounts to much of anything. I mean, Vic himself is probably used to the attention, but
yeah.
As far as like, what's expected of the players and things like that, it's his first time coaching, first game, a lot of firsts. And I don't know if you got to have pedigree, in my opinion, to come into a first with expectations that would amount to pressure.
That's valid. That's valid. I just, with everything, like, at least there's a lot of distractions, but
yeah, I got an invite to go to the First Take thing. I told them I had to do your show and they were like, what?
Man,
I know, man.
You should have gone.
Also, you want to hear something even crazier? You know where I'm supposed to be? Columbus.
Ohio?
Yeah, because we go to a Texas game every year.
Oh.
And yeah, it's the home and home, and this year is in Columbus, Ohio. But I'm here with you, buddy.
Man,
yeah.
You could have left. I would have understood.
I know. I should have.
I would have understood.
I told him I'll catch him in Austin next year.
All right,
but
perfect.
Yeah.
Even then, I'll self-produce. Looking at Norfolk State's schedule, though, they've got, granted, you only have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MEAC conference games this season. So you've got a long time before you even begin your conference slate. Your first game's August 28th. Your first conference game is October 25th. Lots of time for Mike Vick and his coaching staff to work out the issues and figure out what's going right. But I think there's a little bit of pressure, at least a little bit.
You know where the pressure is going to start? It's going to start on the 6th of September when they play Virginia State.
And he loses that game to a division.
They're gonna get pressure then, just because of the whole in-state implications as well.
And they call that game the Battle of the States.
Yeah,
even though they're both in the same state. Norfolk's not a state.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say. Virginia State has the rights to use Virginia State because Virginia is a state. Norfolk is not a state.
We had this conversation.
Like Moorhead is not a state.
Tread lightly.
Look, I'm just saying, Moorhead State, not a state.
I know. I totally.
I'm just saying.
I get it.
I'm just saying. I get it. I understand. I understand. There's pride, but
a lot of pride for sure.
And I know a lot of pride. But Virginia State, look, Virginia is a state. I know I'm on thin ice right now. I understand what I'm saying.
You're sounding very pro Trojans, and I don't know if that's going to work.
Look, I prefer Trojans over Spartans. I'll tell you that much. Look. All I'm saying is whoever wins on September 6th gets to be the state holder. The Battle of the States.
There you
go. So we'll revisit this on September 7th.
You might be revisiting this on the text line, but yes.
September 8th. All right. We'll be back with more Fitz the Bill coming up in hour number 2. David Cunningham from Tech Sideline will be joining us to kick off hour number 2. Chat about the latest when it comes to the Caleb Woodson DWI, as well as just the overall expectations and vibes around the Hokies going into a very, very important 2025 season. Super excited to catch up with David. Keep it locked right here, 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Fitz the Bill live from the Bull Rush Studios in the capital of the Commonwealth.
Hi, this is Joe Simpson with the Atlanta Braves. Keep it locked here on 106.1 ESPN, your home for the Atlanta Braves all season long.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1783. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1783. That's 800-575-1783. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
When flying out of Richmond, just park and go. Richmond's Park and Go provides door-to-door shuttle service to the terminal, so there's no waiting, no hassle, and it's safe and secure. You can reserve your Park and Go spot in advance at bookpark.go.com or just download their app in the Play Store. They're ready for you 24/7, 365 days a year for your airport parking needs. Park and Go is also hiring for overnight office work and weekends. Call 804-652-2150 and ask for Greg or Carol.
Coastal Carolina University offers you the academic experiences you need to succeed after college. From marine science to computer science, from theater to music technology, from hospitality management to health administration, there is a place for you at Coastal Carolina University. With inspired learning opportunities in the classroom, in the field, online, and around the world, Coastal Carolina offers the opportunities to support and empower your success. Visit coastal.edu to learn more.
From the Bull Rush ESPN studios. Learn more at bullrush.com/ESPN. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 1061 ESPN.
Welcome in hour 2 of Fitz the Bill right here on 1061 ESPN Richmond. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, Alan alongside. Appreciate you clocking in, getting your day started with us. And here right at the top, we want to let you guys know about a brand new sports comp with Bull Rush called the NFL Survivor, a $100,000 total prize pool where first place gets 50 grand straight up. Think you've got the picks to survive 20 weeks? Join now and prove it. bullrush.com/ESPN. So Fitz the Bill on the road, kind of a little bit of a different Fitz the Bill on the road, a type of experience on this Thursday morning. We're going to quote unquote get on the road to Blacksburg and welcome in David Cunningham from Tech Sideline to preview the Hokies' upcoming season, where there are a lot of expectations on Virginia Tech. There's a lot of questions on Brent Pry's job security. Now there's an added layer with Caleb Woodson, he was the team captain, one of the top returning linebackers. His status kind of up in the air, and things are getting a little interesting over there in Blacksburg. So, David, appreciate you waking up with us on this Thursday morning, taking some time to chat some Hokies football.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Jack. Pleasure to be on, and that Caleb Woodson situation is very interesting.
Yeah, so I guess let's just dive right on into it, because that is the big headline around Virginia Tech. His status for Sunday's game against South Carolina, still kind of up in the air. Brent Pry's media availability, he wouldn't say really anything. He's mastered the art of coach talk. All we know is his team captaincy has been stripped away with an opportunity to earn it back. And then other than that, it's still up in the air. What do you know with the latest on Caleb Woodson in that whole situation?
Yeah, everything you said is correct. And I would add that unless Brent Pry comes out and says that Caleb Woodson's not playing, I would assume that he is. Obviously a dangerous situation. I'm not sure how Virginia Tech is handling it, but Pry said they would handle it internally. I think the interesting twist here is that he was supposed to have a court date set for September 9th, which would have been the Tuesday after week 2, and it got moved to November. I'm not sure how that will play out legal-wise, but Virginia Tech is going to have to do something. Right now, it seems like he's going to play. Bottom line is he's arguably your best linebacker. He's somebody who I think was poised to have, and maybe still could be poised to have a breakout season. He's a guy who made a lot of tackles last year, kind of got a really good feel for the position as the year went on, and now he's returning. And I think with new coaching and Xavier Adibi at that position, he can really take his game to the next level. But at the same time, there's a lot of factors to weigh in. Brent Pry again said that they were going to handle it internally and come to the right conclusion. I'm not sure how exactly it'll play itself out, but my guess is that Caleb Woodson will play on Sunday against South Carolina and Atlanta. It would not shock me, though, if he's suspended for a quarter or a half or a play or whatever, a series, whatever that might be. I'm not sure how Virginia Tech is going to come to that conclusion, but a lot up in the air right now. Tech certainly needs him on the field, and that's the tough part.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation because I think it was also his second offense as well. So he had something happen at the end of July, and now the DWI. Just a very interesting situation with Caleb Woodson. And yeah, whenever you hear a coach, I feel like say we're handling it internally means he'll probably play and it'll be like a half off or something.
Yeah, well, and Woodson had two within the last year, I think dating back to June 2024. He's had two speeding incidents. One in Montgomery County and then one up in Warren County, I believe, so up by Front Royal, where he was going like 96 and a 70 and 96 and 65. So there are a couple different things at play here. It's not like it's his first offense with a DWI, certainly. But, yeah, it's not a situation you want to be in, especially considering he's your star linebacker coming back. I think he's maybe the most important player on this defense, considering the way coaches have raved about him. And there's a chance you don't have him. So we will keep an eye on that situation. Obviously, I would expect him to play on Sunday, but maybe you suspend him when the stakes aren't so high, I guess. That's, I think, what some people speculate an SEC team would do in a situation like this.
So, David, we caught up at ACC kickoff like a month ago now, whenever that was. Time is a social construct. Can't even really quantify it. But we caught up there, and we talked about Brent Pry's job security going into this season. Has that changed at all, or do you think Brent Pry's job security is still reliant on getting to a good bowl game in order to be the coach next season?
I think so. I think winning 7 games would probably be good for him. But there's so many layers at play, and it obviously depends on who you lose to, who you beat, how you beat them. Bottom line is that this Virginia Tech team last season was close in a lot of games. You look at Virginia Tech's losses last year, the Hokies were in every single game. That opener against Vanderbilt, they were leading with 2 minutes to go and blew that game in overtime, almost blew it in regulation. But just like one thing after another, you go down the list: Vanderbilt, Miami, Clemson, Duke, Syracuse, like one little thing after another that if they get those things tweaked, fixed, you're looking at a completely different record. So that I say that just it's the perception of how the game plays out and what happens. And I think, yes, Brent Pry is kind of sitting here on the hot seat. Not saying he's going to be fired, but there's a lot of pressure on him right now. There's a lot of pressure on Virginia Tech's athletic department as a whole, but specifically football to succeed. And what Babcock pitched the Board of Visitors 2 weeks ago on all, basically asking for more money to support football and support athletics. Well, you got to go prove that you deserve it in a way. I think that's going to happen in terms of the money going to athletics, but you've got to go out there and prove that you're the right athletic director, and also that you've got the right head coach in place in terms of the football program that is bringing in the majority of the money, the majority of the revenue. I think Pry has surrounded himself with better coaches this time around, Jack. So I feel a little bit better about Tech going into this season. But at the same time, the coaches can put players in spots, but if your talent isn't there, you don't have guys that make plays. Well, that's what it comes down to. So a lot of question marks. I think Pry's in an okay spot, but he has to win to really get Virginia Tech fans feeling good about what he's done, considering that he won 7 games 2 years ago and then took a step back last year and won 6. Right? It's not like it's been a step forward per se. You can take a step forward. Man, if you could get off to a strong start by beating a South Carolina or a Vanderbilt, I think that would really go a long way with the fans.
David Cunningham joining us from Tech Sideline. You mentioned the coaches he brought in. He brought in a NFL linebackers coach for his defensive coordinator position, Sam Seifkis. Brought in a former head coach who coached at Tulsa for a number of years, Phil Montgomery. I want to focus on each of them, but first, Phil Montgomery, right? He's got a completely new offensive line. I want to know how he's handling that and how the offense as a whole is shaping up heading into the season.
Yeah, I think Kyron Drones has raved about how much more comfortable he feels as a quarterback, having a quarterback guy in Phil Montgomery, a guy who coached the position, played the position, as his quarterback's coach and offensive coordinator. I think that will pay huge dividends. There's a bunch of guys in the running back room, starting with Marcellus Hawkins, who I think Virginia Tech has a lot of playmakers there. Wide receiver is interesting, Jack. There are a lot of guys there who are unproven. You've got Aiden Green, a guy who's coming back, played pretty well at the end of the year for the Hokies. Donovan Green is a player who played at Wake Forest for a very long time, was great when he was healthy, but hadn't always been healthy. Then you move to tight end. They've got guys coming back there, solid. Benji Gosnell is the headliner. Offensive line is a big question. And Matt Moore comes in from West Virginia as the offensive line coach, which I think was a terrific hire by Brent Pry. And he brought a couple guys with him, including Tomas Remak. He was going to start, I believe, at left guard for the Hokies, and he was kind of an all Big 12 caliber guard last year. So you've got that, but everywhere else there are a ton of questions, including Kyle Altoona, the starting center. He's a redshirt freshman. He's never played before, and he's going to be Virginia Tech starting center. Laith Gannum, a guy who has a little bit of experience, he's going to be playing right guard. Montavious Cunningham at right tackle. He's a guy who couldn't really get on the field last year. Is he good enough this year? Or is it just a different coach? And at left tackle, Johnny Garrett, a guy who it's kind of just an opportunity finally to play. But that's a lot of guys around one pretty experienced player that have never really played a ton before, and especially together. That's one big question mark on the offensive line. And it doesn't get easy in week one, Jack. You're going up against a really good edge rusher in Dylan Stewart in South Carolina. And the Hokies are going to have to be on their P's and Q's in terms of the offensive line, but also the operation as a whole. And I think there were too many times last year where Virginia Tech was kind of just flying by the seat of its pants a little bit, if that makes sense. Like I remember, you think back to that Vanderbilt game, and they came out, and you could just tell that they were unprepared a little bit, that they weren't as ready as they should have been. The Kyron Drones-Tyler Bowen connection, quarterback OC, just wasn't quite there, and everybody wasn't on the same page. And that's what I'm looking for in this first game. Despite the result, is it a cohesive unit? Are guys on the same page? It might take some time to figure out the offensive line and whatnot, and figure out what receivers need to be on the field. But are they cohesive? Are there in-game adjustments? That wasn't something that happened last year. And I think Philip Montgomery will put his guys in a better position this time around.
And then on the other side of the ball, you've got Sam Seifkes, right? Like the offensive line, you've got all these question marks, you've got all these new faces. For the defensive side of things, that's the secondary, right? A lot of new faces back there. How is that unit going to hold up?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about Virginia Tech's defense. That's the unit I'm not as worried about. I'm more worried about the offense. You asked about the secondary. A cornerback is interesting because the Hokies lost Dorian Strong to the Buffalo Bills, Monsoon Delane to LSU. You bring in Caleb Brown, a transfer from Hawaii, and it seems like he's jockeying Dante Lovett for playing time there, and Thomas Williams is at your other corner spot. Those are two young guys in Lovett and Thomas Williams that seems like they're ready to play, but they're not necessarily proven. Caleb Brown is experienced. You feel a little bit better there. The most upgraded room in the entire team is safety. And Tech brought in 5-6 guys at that position. Quentin Reddish is back, and joining him is Tyson Flowers. You got Christian Ellis, who came in from New Mexico, Isaiah Cash, Thurod Koval, Jordan Bass. There are so many guys there. I think this is the best Virginia Tech has felt about that safety room since Brent Pry has been here. That's exciting. Reddish and I would expect Reddish to start probably alongside Flowers, but there are a bunch of guys with different skill sets there. That's a lot of stuff that Sam Seifkes can do with those guys in the back end, including maybe play some 3 high safety looks, play one of them at nickel, maybe. They can back up at corner if you need. There's a lot of stuff you can do there. We already talked a little bit about linebacker with Caleb Woodson. That is maybe my biggest question mark, because if Woodson doesn't play or is unable to play, what happens? Good news is Tech has a little bit more depth there in Michael Short and Antoine Santiago at linebacker. And then the defensive line, that is maybe the group I'm most excited for, Jack. That is a deep, deep, deep unit where they've got potentially, I think they've got 14 guys listed on the depth chart at defensive line at the 4 positions. And Brent Pry said, yeah, there's a legitimate chance all 14 of those guys play at some point. Maybe not all in the opener. They've got a couple of young guys, a couple of redshirt freshmen and true freshmen in there, but they roll deep in there. That is a group I'm really excited for, because they've got guys who can wreak havoc in that room.
Man, that is 14. That is a lot of people. With Cephas, though, this is his first real DC job. He had been in the NFL for a couple of years. Now that camp's over, how do you expect? You said you were high on him. How do you expect this defense to kind of shake out this year under a new defensive coordinator who's kind of getting his feet under him?
Yeah, I think he understands exactly what he wants to do. He is one of the most inquisitive minds I think I've ever spoken to around the game of football. I think there's a reason why so many people in the NFL were very high on him. He has a little bit of coordinating experience from his time at the FCS level at Wofford and, of course, at the D3 level. But, yeah, this is his first real go-around. But he understands, I think, football and personnel and how to put his guys in the best position. And that's something the former defensive coordinator, I don't think, was very good at, putting his guys in the right spot. In-game adjustments are going to be big, too. And Sam Cephas is a guy who has said, hey, we're going to be multiple. We're going to throw a bunch of different looks at you, and we are going to change what we do based on our opponent. So if our opponent is playing X, we are going to do Y. And it's going to change based on our opponent week by week. And that's a pretty unique approach. It's kind of what a lot of people are doing in the NFL. That's, of course, where Cephas learned it. He was with the Vikings and the Cardinals over the last handful of years. And I'm very excited. We don't really have a good feel of what it's going to look like yet, but he's got so much talent that I'm very excited to see how he messes around with it and uses it, tweaks stuff here and there. A great defensive tackle and defensive end room, a lot of talent to work with there. Really good safety room that again rolls deep. How does he mess around with it, show different looks, and catch quarterbacks and offensive coordinators off balance? That's going to be the biggest challenge, and adjusting. And if he can get those things right, I think he's got enough talent to succeed. I'm very interested to see just kind of how this whole thing plays out. I feel much better about his side of the ball than I do the offense, just because I'm still waiting to see how the Philip Montgomery, Kyron Drones kind of partnership works out. I feel much better about Cephas, and I think he knows exactly how he wants to attack opponents. He's kind of like a little bit of a mastermind back there. I'm excited to see him in action. I think it's going to be really fun.
Is there any pressure on Drones? You brought that up, that relationship between him and Montgomery. I know there were such high expectations for him going into last season. He battles through kind of an injury-plagued season where Pop Watson ends up taking some snaps, taking some starts at the end of the year because Drones can't go. And Pop Watson, I mean, for some Virginia Tech fans, really garnered kind of this cult following. Is there any pressure on Drones this season with maybe losing his job, or is it the Drone show from start to finish this year?
No, it's the Drone show. And it is funny because a lot of people like talking about the backup, especially the backup quarterback, until they see the backup play. And then they're like, man, maybe we got too far ahead of ourselves. I mean, Pop Watson was terrific against a measly Virginia team last year, but when he played Duke and Minnesota, two teams who could actually put pressure on him, he wasn't very good. As far as Drones goes, no, it's Drones' show. And the funniest thing is he talked to us when we were down in Charlotte at the ACC football kickoff about how he wasn't himself last year. He was trying to be somebody he wasn't. He was trying to force the ball down the field. He was trying to be a pro-style quarterback. And that's just not necessarily who he is. He was working out with Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, two of his good friends, in the offseason. Those guys are a little bit different players than he is. He's more of a run. He has more of a run the ball game mixed in with, throwing the ball over the middle, so to speak. He's got a little bit of a different skill set. And I think what's very exciting, talking to Kyron Jones earlier this week, is he's, again, what I mentioned earlier, he's on the same page as Phil Montgomery. I don't think that was a relationship with Tyler Bowen that wasn't necessarily bad, but it could have been better, where Kyron Jones said, look, Phil Montgomery basically gave me the keys to do anything I want. If I walk up to the line of scrimmage and feel like I don't like what I'm seeing, I have the opportunity to adjust it. And I think back to that Vanderbilt game last year, where there were times where, of course, the player to coach communication that was the first time people had used it in games last year. And Tyler Bowen, the offensive coordinator, was signaling in plays from the booth, and it was going into Jerome's headset. And after that communication shut off with about 15 seconds left on the play clock, Vanderbilt was adjusting its plays based on that, knowing that Tech couldn't get another play in. And so there were times where Kyron Jones was stranded, essentially, not really sure what to do, not really sure what approach to take. And of course, very long season. That was just one game. But that relationship, having a guy who Kyron Jones says understands what I'm going through, understands that if I take a sack, that I need to shake it off, how to shake it off, what my mindset is, where I am at mentally. I think that's huge. Like, just having a guy who can basically say, I know how you're feeling. Here's what we're going to do about it. Here's how we're going to call the game to get you back comfortable again. I don't think you can replicate that or duplicate that, quantify that even. I'm very excited to kind of see Jerome's fully healthy, because he's got a lot to prove. It did not go the way he wanted at the end of last season. And I think he's got a much better partnership with his offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. And I think that's going to pay huge dividends, assuming he has the playmakers around him.
I love it. David, last question here before we let you go on this Thursday morning. Massive game this Sunday, South Carolina, Beamer Bowl. I mean, it is so many storylines around this game. How does Virginia Tech win, and how big would a win be for Virginia Tech to get the season going with a win, not even over an SEC squad, which is impressive in and of itself, but over Shane Beamer, the son of this historic, this legendary figure in Virginia Tech lore?
It would be huge. I'm excited to see Shane Beamer. I know some people are not, just because people wish he was on the Virginia Tech sideline. Yeah, there are a lot of storylines at play, Jack. It would be a massive win if the Hokies could pull it off. The last time Virginia Tech beat a Power 5 non-conference opponent was 2017 in the season opener against West Virginia, which was then at FedEx Field.
Wow.
That's a long time ago. This is an opportunity here, both this week and next week against Vanderbilt, to kind of rewrite the script a little bit and show that, hey, we can hang with some pretty good teams. What it's going to take to win, you got to minimize mistakes, man. You got to take care of self-inflicted wounds. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. Too many times last year, the Hokies did that. There are countless opportunities where there was either two guys on the field with the same number or clock management issues, little things like that, where it's not even like the guys necessarily playing the game. It's more so like the coaches weren't prepared to put the guys in the right position. And that stuff comes back to haunt you, right? If you're Virginia Tech and you're in a situation against Miami where you don't call timeout, where you don't give Miami an extra field goal at the end of the first half, you might win that game as a result. Like little clock management things here and there. Is Brent Pry a better coach this year? I'm not sure. I think so, but we have yet to see it. But that is partly what it's going to come down to. I think Tech has better coordinators. I think Tech doesn't have as much talent, but maybe is going to be in a better place, if that makes sense. But I think a lot of it's going to come down to Brent Pry And the Hokies are going to have to call a solid game with very few mistakes, and they're going to have to do it with their defense. This is South Carolina team, by the way. Tons and tons of question marks outside of Lenore Sellers and Dylan Stewart. Tons of question marks. Maybe as many as Virginia Tech, but they got some superstars. They could ultimately be the difference. It's going to be an exciting matchup. I'm excited to get down to Atlanta. It's going to be very, very fun on Sunday.
Awesome, David. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning. Always love chatting. We'll have to catch up again soon and see if Virginia Tech's able to pull out a win down in the ATL.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you having me on. And yeah, let's chat soon.
Awesome. David Cunningham from Tech Sideline, taking some time out of his morning. You can follow him on Twitter at @TheRealDCunna. He is the managing editor for Tech Sideline. Fantastic insights from him. As always, we're going to get a break in here. Step aside, continue on with a little Virginia Tech football preview as Fitz the Bill kind of goes on the road this Thursday. We'll be back with more 106.1 ESPN.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1783. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1783. That's 800-575-1783. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
This Labor Day, the Home Depot is here to help you prep for the season. So no matter what you're working on, you can get your backyard ready for all the fall festivities. Refresh your garden with savings on a wide selection of colorful mums. Liven up your outdoor space with vibrant string lights. And find the perfect grill for your backyard barbecues this season from our wide selection of grills under $300. Get your fall project started this Labor Day at the Home Depot.
If your end of summer plans don't include a trip to Macy's, then you're missing out because our Labor Day sale has huge savings to wrap up the season in style, like dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and INC, 100 and under. Plus, just what you need for fall, like Levi's for your whole crew, 30 to 40% off. It's also the best time to update your home with our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more. Hurry in. Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Wrap up your workday with Matt Josephs and Bob Black from 3 until 6 p.m. Live interviews, breaking news, and real talk about Richmond sports. Your business can be part of the conversation. Own the afternoon on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports. Call 804-330-5700 or email espnrva@summitmediacorp.com.
Hey, Richmond, looking for more Fitz the Bill content and behind-the-scenes looks into the show? Well, follow us on Instagram at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA. You'll get all of the clips, exclusive hot takes, and so much more. Follow us at Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA on Instagram. A little Kendrick to start this morning. All right, Alan. I see you on the other side of the glass.
I just had to put something in there.
This is what I listen to on my drive to work. That or a podcast.
I mean, I'm done with the Kendrick side. I like Kendrick and all that.
Yeah, Kendrick won the battle.
Yeah,
he bodied Drake.
Yeah, I'm never going to defend Drake. So
yeah, I've been a Drake hater since day one. Ask any of my friends.
So your music takes are better than your AFC West takes.
All right.
I'm the Lorax for our listeners, man. We're all disappointed in you. Come on, man.
Look.
Fade and Patty is going to be an ongoing thing. I watched this man not throw a touchdown for 3 weeks, and his team went 3-0. Like,
I understand.
You can't stop him.
But
he's inevitable. He's Thanos.
I guess, whatever. All right, let's keep it rolling with Fitz the Bill on the road. Virginia Tech preview day. Appreciate David Cunningham for joining us from Tech Sideline, the managing editor for them. You can follow him on Twitter at @TheRealDCunna. Always great, insightful information. He's been keeping up to date. That he was everywhere during that Board of Visitors meeting that Whit Babcock held or had, or would he have held that, or would he have gone to it and presented his slideshow there? Whatever it was. He was fantastic reporting on that. And then at the latest around Caleb Woodson's arrest and what that will do for the Virginia Tech Hokies linebacker as well. He dropped that little nugget too, that it was actually his third incident.
His third.
Because he had 2 speeding tickets and then a DWI.
I'd only seen the one on the 30th.
I think he said June of last year he got a speeding ticket in Montgomery County, then a speeding ticket in Warren County.
The Front Royal spot, I very familiar with that stretch, and
they get you.
I can understand, but either way, I mean, accountability is something that needs to be taught sometimes, and I think if he doesn't get benched for the game, they're missing an opportunity to teach a young man a lesson. And I don't usually take those stances, but you're talking about risky behavior, not only for yourself but people around you. Something has to be done.
Yeah, you're right. But Virginia Tech as a whole, with or without Caleb Woodson, it's a massive year for Virginia Tech, man. Like Brent Pry, his job, the future of the athletics program, the football program at Virginia Tech. Because Whit Babcock did go to the Board of Visitors and essentially asked for like $40 to $60 million more in their annual budget to help football, to help basketball, both basketballs, baseball, softball, all of their sports. He went there and he asked for that. And really, the success of Virginia Tech this season is going to impact them for years to come. It will impact where they rank among the ACC schools, or whatever happens when everything blows up in 2030, when everything changes in 2030. This season has huge ramifications on Virginia Tech. And Brent Pry knew that, right? He went out. He got Sam Seifkis, NFL coordinator. He's young, 34 years old, but you heard David talk about it, an inquisitive mind. He brings new ideas to the college football game, of an out-of-the-box hire, but at this point, that's kind of what you need. And then Phil Montgomery, he has experience as an OC. He was an OC at Auburn in 23. He spent last season with the Birmingham Stallions in the UFL. He has a lot of experience as a QB coach as well, and was with Tulsa as their head coach from 2015 to 2022. So those 2 new hires indicate to me that Virginia Tech needs to win this season, and it's do or die for not just Brent Pry, but the Hokies as a whole in 2025.
Yeah, he said 7 wins. I just don't know if I buy that as the spot. Like, I think he needs to do a little bit better than that. There needs to be some upward movement, not only in wins but in the product on the field. And I know this. It's easy to go back and say, well, they lost so many close games, but that team, I think that team having 21 of 22 starters return, if I recall.
Yeah, 21 of 22. That is you don't see that.
You're supposed to win the close games when you have that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we're giving too much of like a pass per se. Like, this is really do or die, and his back's against the wall. And maybe I'm reading too much into the meeting that the brass at Virginia Tech had, but I feel like when you go in front of people and ask for $50+ million of like additional support, the first thing they're going to say before they sign that check is, what am I getting out of this? And they're going to look at the product on the field, and if it's 6-7 wins,
that's what I'm saying.
That ain't going to get it done, man.
Not only that, like what they're over the last 7 years, they have not been to like 8. And no offense to the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I love the Duke's Mayo Bowl, but they haven't been to like a New Year's 6 bowl in the last 7 in a long, long time. And that's a place where Virginia Tech under Frank Beamer was a constant. They were always in the Premier Bowl games. They were always in contention to win the ACC. And since Beamer has left, they have fallen on hard times. And last season was supposed to be the season. You said it, that they were supposed to break through and get back to the Holy Land. They were going to get back to the mountaintop. And you lost so many close games, which does scream that they will progress to the mean. Look, football's an oblong ball. It takes some weird bounces. Sometimes you're going to lose some close games. Now you have the opportunity, maybe this season, you'll progress to the mean and win a couple more of those games. But still, you need a good bowl game.
screams some game management, clock
Well,
management.
David was breaking it down. Like there was a lot.
There was some issues. I go back to that Miami game. There was definitely some head scratching.
Timeout before the half that allowed Miami to get 3 points.
What are we doing here?
You lose by that.
So I mean that's not on the players. I'll just say it like I said over the break. There's a lot of I'm not anti Brent Pry. I'm not anti Hokie, but there's a lot of little things and the way he moves sometimes that makes me wonder if he's taking accountability as a coach. And if he doesn't see that there are issues, and then we're not talking about just firing the staff and things like that. Like philosophically speaking, the way you approach the game, there's something off a little. Like if he can't see that for himself, then it's a bigger problem than anybody probably expected, and he's eventually doomed. Right? He'll be his own demise. So I don't wish that on him. I want them to get over the hump. But again, it's hard to see a team have all that return last year. And then me look at this year's team and think that this year's team is going to be any better than what I saw last year. So I remain pessimistic, honestly. I don't think it's gonna be much different, and I don't think Brent's going to be able to save his job.
I think this game against South Carolina is going to tell us everything we need to know about Virginia Tech this season. I think you can. Typically, people are like, "Don't read too much into week one." No. Read too much into week one. Like week one to me, if they come out and they beat South Carolina, this team's different.
That's great momentum.
If they come out and they get blown out by South Carolina, it's the same Virginia Tech team that we've seen for quite some time.
I would say give it 2 games, because if they come out and beat South Carolina,
that's boring.
No, because listen, Virginia Tech will come out and show up.
What they would do, they'd beat South Carolina and then lose to Vandy.
Yeah, then lose to Vandy. Yeah. So I would give them 2 games. If they can put together 2 really good games and 2 really good wins, then you can be more optimistic.
Man, yeah, I guess, but still, I'm saying it. South Carolina will tell us everything we need to know about Virginia Tech.
14 bodies to throw at Sellers. That helps.
You got 14. Like that defense sounds like it's going to be fun to watch, and they're going to go as their defense goes. Because the offense, I'm a little worried about the offense. In all honesty, a completely new offensive line. Drones, we know when he's at his best, he's very good. Just look at what he did in 2023. But I don't know. Your offensive line's a bunch of question marks. If a couple of those turn to periods rather than exclamation points, you're SOL, man.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you don't have a running game. You don't have Kyron Jones healthy. You don't have Kyron Jones having time to hit his receivers like Donovan Green or Aiden Green or Cameron Seldon. Like it is so important for that offensive line, and having that many question marks worries me to no end with Virginia Tech. And look, and that's what it kind of boils down to. This team will only be as good as their offensive line is. I think Brent Pry knows that, and that's why he has had a revolving door of offensive line coaches. Matt Moore is the offensive line coach this season. He's the 3rd offensive line coach in Brent Pry's 4 years at Virginia Tech. So he's trying to figure something out. Maybe this is the answer, but look, it's kind of like a relationship, right? If you keep getting broken up with over and over and over and over again, and you keep having new people come into your life, maybe it's time to look at yourself in the mirror. Maybe the other person's not the issue. Maybe you're the issue.
Yeah, if you don't have consistency, man, like 3 offensive line coaches in 4 years is kind of a red flag to me.
Now, I got to look if they were hired away or things of that sort, but still, like, you are an ACC school. You should be able to retain your offensive line coaches, and having 3 different ones in 4 years now, not a great thing for Brent Pry, but maybe Matt Moore's the one that finally sticks. He did bring in Tomas Rimac, the West Virginia, essentially all Big 12 guard from a year ago. But outside of him, you've got 4 question marks, and Virginia Tech will go as the offensive line goes. And I think everyone knows that, and they'll have a huge test, not just because it's South Carolina, but because Dylan Stewart is on the other side of the line. And we know how impressive Dylan Stewart is. He's going to give Virginia Tech's offensive line every single test. They'll see if they can ace it. They can ace it. If they can come out of Atlanta with the win, I think Virginia Tech, that'll tell you everything you need to know about the Hokies going into the rest of their season. All right, let's get a break in here. Step aside. We'll be back. Some other college football headlines around the wide world of the sport. Some quarterbacks have been named, and I've got a thing I got to get off my chest when it comes to gamesmanship and QB1s. That's coming up. 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1783. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1783. That's 800-575-1783. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
At East Coast Appliance, our customers mean everything to us. So we're giving back and having a huge Labor Day customer appreciation sale. Save up to 50% off new appliances store-wide. Special offers on dishwashers and laundry pairs and limited time 0% financing you won't want to miss. Always same day or next day delivery and install available. The Labor Day customer appreciation sale at East Coast Appliance. The best price or it's free.
Ugh, I'm getting so sick of going to the laundromat. Didn't you just get a new washer and dryer? Yeah, but it still hasn't arrived. Where'd you get it? One of those big hardware stores. And every time I call, I get the garden department, lumber department, or something like that. Next time, let me know. I have this appliance guy who does same day or next day delivery and install. I'm going to call and cancel my order. Great idea.
You should never have to wait weeks or even days for a new appliance. Shop East Coast Appliance today and get the best price or it's free.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
If your end of summer plans don't include a trip to Macy's, then you're missing out because our Labor Day sale has huge savings to wrap up the season in style, like dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and INC, 100 and under. Plus, just what you need for fall, like Levi's for your whole crew, 30 to 40% off. It's also the best time to update your home with our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more. Hurry in. Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Thursday Night Football is here. 106.1 ESPN Richmond is kicking it off in style.
The NFL talk gets going with Raising Hell from 6 to 7. Then join us live at Dave & Buster's in Short Pump for our brand new NFL pregame show, Countdown to Kickoff.
This week, hosted by Jack Fitzpatrick of Fitz the Bill.
Jack will get you set for one of the league's fiercest rivalries, the Cowboys and Eagles, under the lights on Thursday Night Football.
It's all presented by Dave & Buster's in Short Pump and 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Your home for the NFL all season long and where Richmond talks sports.
Richmond football is on the way. Hey, this is Bob Black. Join former Spider players Jasmine Coleman and Chris Anderson and me Saturday, August 30th at Lehigh, a battle of defending league champs and nationally ranked teams. Airtime 11:30, kickoff at noon on the home of the Spiders, 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back in Fitz the Bill on this Thursday, August 28th. Good morning. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, Allen alongside, and we've had some quarterback ones named across the college football world. Allen, you ready to learn a couple of QB ones?
Sure.
Gio Lopez has been named quarterback one for the University of University of North Carolina.
I didn't see that coming.
I know, crazy. He was a very good quarterback at South Alabama in the Sun Belt.
He was solid. No, for sure. We'll see how he looks with the step up.
I think he'll look good. He's a good rusher.
I usually anticipate that these guys will be solid.
He was a good running quarterback.
Yeah, it's the running thing to me. Like you need a little bit more than that. For him at least. When I think of a really good running quarterback, the ones that I would say that about have always been way more explosive or dynamic than him. That's why I hesitate. But he's an athlete.
That's fair.
So, yeah.
Speaking of athletes, Caden Salter named quarterback 1 for Colorado.
I'm a little surprised by that, but also he's already got the connection with Deion because Deion coached him when he was a kid. So.
Really? I did not know that Deion coached him as a kid.
Oh, yeah, there's a connection.
Caden Salter began his collegiate career at Tennessee, transferred to Liberty, got them to a New Year's Six Bowl where they got their wheels blown off by Oregon, then had a down 2024, has now transferred to Colorado. The QB1 is now Caden Salter in Colorado. Yeah. He won't be accompanied by Ralphie, though, who is now disinterested in running.
Deion has known the family for more than 10 years.
Wow. All right. So that makes sense. Now, I got to get this off my chest, right? Miss me with all that gamesmanship talk. When coaches are like, we don't want to release our quarterback 1, we don't want to give our opponent an edge. That's the stupidest thing
college is weird.
I have ever heard. That's not real. Why do you think Bill Belichick is telling everyone who his quarterback 1 is in Gio Lopez? Why do you think Deion Sanders is okay with saying it's Caden Salter despite them having a competition? Like, it makes no sense when college football coaches are like, we can't say who our quarterback 1 is because that'll give the other team an edge. No, it won't. You know what gives them an edge? By being better than you. Focus on being the better team. Don't focus on hiding who the quarterback 1 is. If it gave you an edge, you know what NFL teams would do? Not announce their quarterback 1 a full week and a half before their first game. The Saints would not have released that Spencer Rattler was their quarterback 1, beating out Tyler Shuck in a competition. Daniel Jones wouldn't have been named quarterback 1 3 weeks ago as he was going through a quarterback competition with Anthony Richardson. It makes no sense to me, and it bothers me, and it grinds my gears that coaches claim gamesmanship when that is just not true. That's just not the case.
I would like to get a coach's unbiased opinion on that. Because I do feel like sometimes it's a waste of time. And then also opposing coaches generally have an idea. And if we're talking week 1, you're kind of playing by the seat of your pants a little bit anyway. You would have to adjust on the fly. So I don't think anybody would lose any sleep or do any extra film watching for a week 1 opponent, not knowing who their quarterback is. Because, there's a lot of unknowns going into week 1. So you just play your game and kind of adjust on the fly.
It's just so frustrating.
But college is this. They're secretive.
So secretive. They are so secretive in college.
Kind of strange.
Like teams now, JMU's one of them. JMU and a lot of other teams not releasing 2 deeps ahead of their games. Why? The other team already knows you're 2 deep. The other team has done so much more scouting. Just release the 2 deep. Let the fans just drool over the 2 deep for the 5 days leading up to the game. It makes no sense. But because there's no rule saying you have to do it, then coaches are like, I won't even give them 0.1% of an advantage over me. If I don't have to do it, I'm not doing it. Because of the secretive nature, because of the close, what's the right word? Just close to the chest type of stuff that all of these coaches do in college football. I want to see more availability reports, and I want to see a rule either saying everyone has to do 2 deeps or no one has to do 2 deeps. I don't like living in this world, but granted, that means the NCAA has to do something.
I don't mind masking whether or not a player will play if he's injured, but as far as having 3 healthy quarterbacks and trying to make people guess which one's going to start, I think that is a waste of time.
It's just a waste of time because they'll figure it out. It's so
we'll figure it out when he gets out there.
When he runs on, you know what they're going to do? All right, perfect. Let's use game plan A that we did.
Yeah.
Let's use game plan B
in week 1 for sure.
There's so many question marks. Speaking of quarterbacks, Ohio State's coach Ryan Day has one message, putting a lot of pressure on his quarterback Julian Sayin, saying that he needs to just win. Quote, find a way to win. No pressure on him as he opens up the season against Texas. Meanwhile, Arch Manning and Texas have been crowned the kings of the land before this season has even started. Texas, because of Arch Manning, seemingly has been handed the national championship, handed the Heisman, made Arch Manning the first pick of the NFL draft. And coming into this offseason, look, I was high on Arch Manning. I was like, look, this kid's probably going to be good. But I've soured on him a little bit. Not because of what he has done or not done in the media or at practice or things of that sort. It's because everyone now, maybe it's a little hipster of me, but everyone now that he's the QB1, all in on the Arch train. He's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. And you know what really reminds me of, Alan? Reminds me of how Jamarcus Russell was a can't-miss prospect. Reminds me of how Josh Rosen was the most quarterback-ready quarterback in his draft class. Reminds me of Zach Wilson. Reminds me of Ryan Leaf, one of the biggest draft busts in the history of the NFL draft. Reminds me of arguably two quarterbacks recently where the jury is still out on them, but it reminds me of how they were expected to be the prince who was promised in Trevor Lawrence or Caleb Williams, a generational talent that you couldn't miss on. Jury's still out on them, but they haven't been the slam dunk we all expected. And granted, the NFL is a little different than college football, but Arch Manning just being handed over the keys to Texas, given the Heisman here on August 28th, 2025, made the first pick of the NFL draft here in late August. It makes me really concerned for the Texas Longhorns this season.
I will say that I'm not faulting people for being overly optimistic. I mean, whenever you create a quarterback, it's typically an athletic Manning, and that's what Arch is supposed to be. So if he could throw like Peyton and Eli and you can run faster than the average quarterback, I think,
bear.
Yeah, we would all take that. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot I need to see from Arch. There's a lot that everybody needs to see from Arch, but given his family pedigree, you would expect him to, I mean, he's essentially the quarterback version of a secretariat horse, right? He's coming from some really good lineage. You expect him to be a champion. You expect him to be great. We will see. But Ryan Day really plucks my nerves.
Ryan Day, just like, bro,
Dude,
look, this is one thing.
You've had so much talent, and you've only got one championship out. You've had so many top quarterbacks and top receivers and top everything. Like Ohio State is literally a treasure trove of talent. You took Caleb Downs from Alabama and put him on your team. Like, you just get so much. It's for you to look at any player and say you need to just win. You need to just coach. That's what you need to do, coach.
But also, like, I don't know. I feel like coaching 101 is don't put extremely high expectations on the sophomore quarterback.
Sands, if I recall, he's a 5-star. He was highly
but
talented
still, like
out.
he has not played for Ohio State.
Yeah, he hasn't played.
So you just really putting a lot of pressure on him.
I think part of that's probably just getting him prepped for, honestly, the gamesmanship of this is Ohio State. This is what we do. However, my issue is that Ryan Day doesn't go by that same rule. Like, you don't necessarily project that kind of like Nick Saban-esque aura.
Yes.
You know,
you project a scared puppy in the corner aura.
Every time on fourth, there's been a lot of blinking in his resume when it comes to big moments and big games. So again, my issue is that you're putting that on this young man immediately, but you also haven't necessarily lived up to that. It kind of bothers me.
It's quite an interesting juxtaposition there between the two of them. But Ohio State,
going to be a good game.
Ohio State, Texas is going to be a great game. They kick off on Saturday. If you have YouTube TV, we talked about it yesterday. They've reached a compromise to at least give you week 1 of games as they continue to work behind the scenes on some sort of deal that will keep Fox on YouTube TV. So
I'll share the live stream.
So yeah, we'll live stream it here from the studio. Come on into the studio.
My friends will be there.
Just kidding. That is not allowed. Yeah,
I'll get it.
All right. We're going to take our last break, be back, wrap up this Thursday edition of Fitz the Bill, get you set for what's coming tomorrow. Stay with us. 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
If your end of summer plans don't include a trip to Macy's, then you're missing out because our Labor Day sale has huge savings to wrap up the season in style, like dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and INC, 100 and under. Plus, just what you need for fall, like Levi's for your whole crew, 30 to 40% off. It's also the best time to update your home with our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more. Hurry in. Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Live music returns to Innsbruck Pavilion next summer. Surf Pro After Hours concerts at the Innsbruck Pavilion brings you Tribute Thursdays with bands recreating the music of the most popular acts of our time. For more info, visit afterhourinnsbruck.com.
With 19 NCAA Division I sports and 84 majors, Coastal Carolina University affords student athletes the competition and learning they crave. From FBS football to ladies volleyball, from championship baseball to ladies lacrosse, from business to theater arts, Coastal Carolina University offers a depth of learning both on the field and in the classroom. Eager ambition is a hallmark of students and faculty at Coastal Carolina University. Schedule a tour and learn more at coastal.edu.
From Hot Topics in the morning to Spider Pride in the evening, 106.1 ESPN Richmond keeps you talking. Fitz the Bill, Border to Border, the Mashup Hour, and the Sports Huddle. Always live and always local. 106.1, where Richmond talks sports.
Fitz the Bill on the road today as we took our little trip, our quote-unquote trip down to Blacksburg, was presented by Schilling and Esposito Law Firm. Schilling and Esposito Personal Injury Attorneys. Check them out at Schilling and Esposito or give them a call, 804-320-0950. Appreciate them being the presenting sponsor of Fitz the Bill on the road this season as we went to JMU, ODU, UVA, Virginia Tech. Did we go to any others? Oh, we did Virginia Union, Virginia State, had a head coach Dr. Alvin Parker on, Coach Frazier on as well to preview the seasons for those two teams. So we got around the Commonwealth just a little bit, put the miles on the car for Fitz the Bill on the road as we were getting you set for all things college football. That kicks off week 1, officially gets it going on Saturday. Ohio State, Texas headlines that. And we've got high school football. The 2025 season is kicking off tonight. We will be at Highland Springs tomorrow for the Friday night game under the lights, Hopewell against Highland Springs. We cannot wait for it. Follow along with Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA on Instagram, on YouTube, as well as ESPN Richmond to see all of the content we get from the game, post-game interviews, chatting with the coaches, with the players after the game, and we'll be out giving away some Dave & Buster's gift cards, things of that sort, ESPN Richmond keychains, pregame. Come on by, come say hi at the Hopewell Highland Springs game. If you have a game at any point this season you want us to come out to, feel free to text us at 804-327-0888 and let us know. Or you can Instagram DM us at Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA. We'll be sure to respond, and we will take it to heart, and we will see if we can make that one work as well. So super excited about that, and all of our high school coverage, the Talk of the Town segment. It's brought to you by Dave & Buster's in Short Pump, also brought to you by Ortho Virginia. Without our sponsors, we would not be able to do it. So we really appreciate everything that they've been doing, and I cannot wait to get out to that Hopewell Highland Springs game tomorrow, and take in that environment to kick off the 2025 season. It should be a really fun game.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game. And I'm looking forward to seeing the new crop of Richmond area athletes we got, or 804 athletes.
804.
Because Hopewell's not Richmond area, but it's still 804.
It's the 804. Yeah. That's why we call it the 804 high school football previews. Not the Richmond. It's the 804. And the 804 stretches out.
I apologize.
Far and wide. The 804, he goes far and wide.
Also, like I told you, for my barbershop purposes, I have to root for Holland.
You have
Springs.
to, yeah. We can't have you getting a messed up cut
or no cut at all.
Or no cut at all. We might look. I've got a good barber We'll see if you make anyone mad.
I mean, my barber's my brother. I'll call my mom.
Oh, okay.
The shop owner is the Highland Springs guy.
Oh, then you're fine. You're good. You're good. Matt Joseph's on Border to Border today. He'll be chatting with the head coach at Midlothian. So keep it locked on that. That will be at about 3-ish today for Border to Border with Matt Josephs. And then we've got the Mashup Hour and a Sports Huddle, of course, as well. And it is Thursday, so it's the Feel Good Thursday edition of the Sports Huddle. Rob Witham from the RVA Sports Network will be joining Bob Black along with Sean Robertson from CBS 6 to preview the upcoming. I mean, they've been previewing the upcoming high school football season. Now preview week 1, which is here. High school football's here. College football is officially here with week 1, and the NFL kicks off on Thursday. And we'll get a countdown to kickoff from 6 to 8 over at Dave & Buster's in Shore Pump. We've got so much stuff coming. Appreciate you all making us part of your morning. Keep it locked. We've got so much coming up tomorrow. Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network. He makes his return tomorrow at about 8:30 a.m. We'll also catch up with JMU offensive lineman Pat McMurtry about the upcoming game this weekend. And we'll have Duke from Graybo helping us preview all of the marquee games on the college football slate starting at 9 a.m. You do not want to miss it. We cannot wait for everything that's coming up. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep it locked right here. We got Clinton and Friends coming up next from 10 to noon. Then we've got Joe and Q. They've got you from 12 until 3. And then later on today, we've got the Braves and Phillies after Sports Huddle, which ends at 6. Braves and Phillies coverage starts at 6:30. We're live and local back at 3 p.m., so keep it locked. 106.1 ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports. Fits the bill.
From the Bull Rush ESPN studio. Learn more at bullrush.com/ESPN.
This isn't fantasy football. It's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter. $100,000 in total prizes. $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly. No carryover. 20 weeks, $100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, and let's see if you've got the guts to survive.